In the early hours of August 7th, 1942, under a veil of darkness at 2:14 in the morning, the initial wave of United States Marines stepped into the shallow waters off a remote beach that would soon become a symbol of endurance and grit. This was Red Beach on Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands, the first major American offensive in the Pacific theater of World War II. The Marines shouldered their standard issue gear, including M1 Garand rifles, Browning automatic rifles, and Thompson submachine guns, tools honed for the brutal realities of island warfare. Yet tucked among these familiar arms was a weapon that would redefine close-quarters combat, the Winchester Model 12 shotgun, a pump-action design originally crafted for sporting pursuits, but adapted into a formidable instrument of battlefield dominance. The Japanese forces entrenched on Guadalcanal had drilled relentlessly for engagements at range, with their bolt-action Arisaka rifles, and for ferocious bayonet assaults, rooted in a doctrine that prized spiritual resolve and hand-to-hand prowess above all. Their military manuals portrayed American troops as reliant on distant firepower, lacking the stomach for intimate clashes, a belief bolstered by early triumphs in China, Singapore, and the Philippines. However, they had not anticipated the raw efficiency of the American shotgun, a weapon capable of unleashing devastation in confined spaces with mechanical precision and overwhelming spread. Building on lessons from World War I, where the Winchester Model 1897 had earned notoriety as the trench sweeper, the Model 12 represented an evolution in design. The 1897 featured an exposed hammer and was prone to jams in muddy conditions. But the Model 12 boasted a hammerless mechanism, smoother operation, and greater reliability, making it ideal for the humid jungles and coral bunkers ahead. During World War II, Winchester produced around 61,000 of these military variants between 1941 and 1944, equipping them with a shortened 20-inch barrel, a perforated heat shield to protect hands during rapid fire, and a lug for attaching the M1917 bayonet. Most crucially, it retained the slam fire capability, allowing a Marine to hold the trigger and cycle the pump as swiftly as possible, expelling shells in a thunderous sequence. Each 12-gauge shell typically held 9 double-aught buckshot pellets, each roughly 33 caliber in size. A trained operator could empty the 6-round tubular magazine in mere seconds, projecting 54 lethal projectiles into a cone of destruction at ranges under 40 yards, far surpassing the output of a Japanese soldier's Arisaka, which required manual bolt cycling after each shot. This firepower gap proved decisive in the chaotic environments of the Pacific, from dense foliage to fortified caves. The Germans had protested similar shotguns during World War I, lodging a formal complaint in 1918 that they violated the Hague Conventions by inflicting undue suffering, even threatening execution for captured Americans wielding them. The United States rebuffed this, countering with warnings of retaliation, and no such executions occurred. By World War II, the ethical debate lingered, but the practicality won out, as shotguns aligned with international law since their projectiles were non-explosive and non-expanding. Japanese commanders, steeped in Bushido traditions emphasizing unyielding courage, initially dismissed reports of these weapons as exaggeration. Yet as encounters mounted, their troops recounted the terror of facing blasts that could fell multiple assailants at once, leading to hurried attempts at countermeasures like improvised bamboo armor, which proved cumbersome and ineffective against the penetrating buckshot. One Japanese officer's post-war memoir described the shotgun's roar as a demonic force that eroded the will to charge, forcing a reluctant shift toward more cautious tactics, though their overall strategy remained anchored in aggressive infiltration. The crucible for this weapon came just 2 weeks after the landing, in the Battle of the Tenaru River on August 21, 1942. Colonel Kiyono Ichiki, commanding an elite regiment of nearly 1,000 men, launched a nighttime assault across a sandbar, aiming to overrun the Marine perimeter in a classic banzai charge. Confident in their superior spirit, the Japanese advanced under cover of darkness, but met a layered defense of machine guns, artillery, and strategically placed shotgun teams. In the melee along the riverbank, at distances of 20 yards or less, the Model 12 shone. Marines, trained at bases like Camp Lejeune in rapid pumping drills and mixed ammunition loads, including buckshot for crowds and slugs for penetration, turned the tide. Slam firing into the waves of attackers, they created walls of lead that halted advances cold. By dawn, the sandbar was strewn with bodies. 774 Japanese lay dead, including Ichiki himself, who committed ritual suicide amid the rout. while Marine losses numbered around 40. This pattern repeated across the campaign. In the jungles of New Georgia in 1943, point men armed with Model 12s cleared ambushes with sweeping blasts, the spread of buckshot slicing through underbrush to reveal hidden foes. On Tarawa that November, amid bloody atoll assaults, Marines employed the shotgun in bunker clearing, firing into entrances and letting pellets ricochet off walls in a deadly echo, a technique dubbed skip shooting to target enemies around corners. Survivors from both sides later spoke of the psychological toll, the sharp, metallic clack of the pump action echoing through the night, like a harbinger of doom, instilling hesitation in Japanese infiltrators who had trained to exploit American unease in the dark. The weapon's apex came on Saipan in July 1944, during the war's largest banzai charge involving thousands, where shotgun squads held critical sectors, their rapid-fire buying time for reinforcements. On Iwo Jima and Okinawa in 1945, integrated with flamethrowers and demolition charges in what Marines called blowtorch and corkscrew tactics, the Model 12 sealed tunnels and caves, its ricocheting storm forcing surrenders or panicked flight. Though not issued en masse, these shotguns went to frontline units like Marine rifle companies, Army assault teams, and Navy shore parties, with millions of shells supplied in varieties from standard buckshot to vegetation-clearing birdshot. Marines who carried them often swore by their confidence-boosting presence, one veteran recalling in his memoir how the shotgun felt like an extension of American ingenuity, simple yet unstoppable. Training emphasized not just marksmanship but adaptability, with drills simulating night patrols and cave entries, fostering the pragmatic ethos that defined United States forces, experimenting in the field to refine techniques like overlapping fields of fire. The Model 12's legacy extended beyond World War II. In the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, it reappeared in frozen trenches and hilltop defenses, countering Chinese human wave attacks with its familiar punch. During Vietnam in the 1960s and 70s, though gradually supplanted by the lighter Ithaca Model 37 and Remington 870, it equipped tunnel rats and jungle point men, echoing its Pacific roots in subterranean fights and dense patrols. This influence persists in modern designs, from the Winchester Model 1200 that succeeded it as the last official trench gun, to contemporary pump actions like the Mossberg 590 and Benelli M4, which borrow its reliable mechanics for military and civilian use. In popular culture, the Model 12 has appeared in films like The Pacific and games such as Call of Duty World at War, cementing its image as a symbol of resilience. For the Japanese soldiers who confronted it, the shotgun represented a stark rebuttal to their assumptions of Western frailty, proving that adaptability and firepower could triumph over tradition. From Guadalcanal's beaches to Okinawa's ridges, it embodied the American spirit, a tool forged in necessity that helped secure victory in the Pacific's unforgiving arena.